It's first pitch. It's Friday. I'm the Prez. Welcome to the show again, guys, and thanks for all the comments and posts on YouTube. Today's show, Marco D'Angelo, my partner in crime at wagertalk.com, and of course the legend himself, Dave Smokin' Cokin. We're going to take apart 5 MLB games in depth, and then we'll go right to extra innings where we'll look at the rest of the board very quickly. Want to bring in the boys. Dave Cokin, how was your day yesterday, my friend?
I split the NFL. Really not sure what Doug Marrone's doing with Jacksonville. I don't know why he decided to put his first team offense out there for like just over a quarter. Not like the Jaguars' offense is all that good and proven, but got on the wrong side of that game, had the right side of the Redskins, and the baseball winning streak finally ended. I backed the Yankees last night, and that did not work. So we'll start a new streak now.
Marco D'Angelo, welcome to the new and improved first pitch. You miserable son of a biatch. What's up, brother?
Not much. Just a busy time. We're getting ready for football. Got baseball in the playoff stretch now. So a lot of things happening. Exciting things at Wager Talk. Some new shows coming on the horizon. So looking good. Looking good.
Well, why don't you talk to us about these new shows coming on the horizon?
Well, the big one is what I'm doing with Vegas runner, Ace. He's going to be doing show that we used to do with Gil Alexander. We're doing it ourselves this year. It's NFL preview. We're going to be dissecting all of the NFL games as we did on that weekly podcast for the last, like 7 years. Kelly will be hosting it. We'll be doing it. We're calling it a podcast, but it's actually going to be live in studio tape. So it'll be a fun show, be like an hour show, and looking forward to that starting the first week of the NFL regular season.
Not bad. Are you going to be talking any highlight, greyhound racing?
No, just NFL, buddy, on this one.
And what
Is there any greyhound racing left, or is that now banned everywhere?
There's still some. It's banned in Florida. There's still a few other dog tracks out there, but Florida was the hub for greyhound racing, and they've banned it there.
Good. That should go away.
Yeah, while you're talking, I'm texting for the promotions that we need for the show. So it's an NFL show with VR and Kelly, and I'm guessing it's presidentially inspired?
Well, considering we've been doing this show for 7 years, I think maybe the presidential show was inspired by this one. How's that?
Okay, we'll go with that. Guys, we've got a slight delay between their talking and their mouths. Both Marco and Dave have been practicing throwing their voice off. It's okay. I'm heading to Best Buy today to get a better router for my internet. That should fix things. So bear with us. Yeah, Dave, we're going to talk some baseball, but before we do that, we're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're coming back and taking apart 5 full games. Okay, boys, it's me. It's the Prez. I just want to thank everybody for taking us up on our offers. Dave's $3.99 college football offer a couple of days ago was so well received. Same with Teddy's $450 NFL offer. Today we have a doozy for you all, guys, and we're going right back to Dave Cokin. You hear him every day talk baseball. We all know this man knows baseball better than just about anybody around. And the baseball season is winding down, probably 5 weeks left, plus 4 weeks of playoffs. We're going to do a one-day-only monster special. Dave Cokin's entire baseball season and playoffs for $99. Just head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code DAVE99. That's Dave99. The rest of his season and playoffs for only $99. Dave, talk to us. What are they going to expect over the next 6 weeks in playoffs?
It won't be high volume, and there will be some days where there aren't any plays. but you'll get everything that I have, and I mean everything that I have in baseball will get posted at Wager Talk. They won't. A lot of these plays will be for subscribers only, so they won't be games that I put up for sale each day, but you'll get them as part of your subscription.
Perfect. So go over and use Dave99 for $99 for the rest of his season and playoffs. And guys, check out the scroll on the bottom of the site. It's up. It's running. Brian Leonard is on a 7-0 and 22-8 baseball betting run. He's got a play up at wagertalk.com. Ralph has a big 5-star going tonight, and he's on a 3-0 and 11-3 5-star run in baseball. So check that out. And we've got new graphics coming next week. I'm going to make the scroll look better. And Dave Cokin is going to get himself a better microphone. Boys, let's get to it. We're going to talk Cincinnati against Pittsburgh. Dave, I'm not even going to set this one up. Two crappy teams playing crappy baseball. Where are we going?
I think Mitch Keller is starting to figure it out. He's still in the growing stages and the learning stages. He's got good stuff, though. And the line kind of interested me here. It's not going to be a play for me, but the Reds open as small favorites, and that has shifted to the Pirates. And I think I kind of buy into that. Look, I'm not ready to actually back Keller with money yet, but this is the guy who's going to be the ace, or at least the Pirates hope he's going to be the ace of their staff moving forward. Sclafani's had some good moments for Cincinnati, but he's hittable. And the Reds, look, the Reds keep on teasing everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, they're supposed to be a good team.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're not, okay? They're 60 and 66. That's what they are. They're a slightly below average baseball team when the results come in. They might look good on paper, but they're actually not very good on the field. I think I lean Pirates here just based on what I consider to be an indicator as far as the betting line is concerned. Not a strong opinion, though.
Marco, I'll go to you, but before that, I lean on the under in this game. Look, I know that neither of these pitchers are pitching in great form, but you can take a look at the bats. I mean, Pittsburgh in their last few games, scoring-wise, a 1, a 1, a 4, a 0, a 1, a 0, a 3. And Cincinnati, not much better, 4-3, 2-4. I think this team is just going to struggle to get over the number of 9. Marco, where are you going to go in this one?
Well, I'm going to agree with you on the under there, Prez, and give you a couple stats here supporting that. Cincinnati had a day off yesterday, and following a day off, the last 2 seasons, they're 14-3 to the under in the next game.
Yeah.
Also, Cincinnati 12-3 to the under when playing on the road after scoring 4 runs or less in 4 straight games. Throw one sidebar in there with this game, guys. If you remember the last time these two teams hooked up in Cincinnati, we had that big melee right before the trade deadline, and Puig was on the field that day, which was surprising because he was being traded and he was still playing in that game and was in the middle of that fight. That would have been a mess had he got hurt. But bad blood between these two teams. So for two teams out of it, you're going to see a spirited effort tonight from both teams. I lean to the under. I agree with Dave on the future with Keller. They're high on him, but I can't pull the trigger on him just yet. He's still trying to figure it out, and neither pitcher really has been that good. So you're going to hold your breath taking the under, but these two teams are in slumps.
Atlanta on the road playing the Mets. DeGrom on the mound. Dave, the New York Mets came out at minus 210. They've been bet down substantially to minus 170 with an over and under of 7.5. And really, both these teams are just playing outstanding baseball. The Mets have won 5 in a row, including a very big sweep against Cleveland. And Atlanta, they've won 5 in a row as well, a sweep against Miami and a 2-1 series win against the mighty LA Dodgers. This series should be really interesting to watch. Fun baseball. The Mets are only 1.5 games out of the playoffs. Where are we going in this one, my friend?
So the Mets are absolutely as go with as it gets right now. And they've got their best guy on the mound tonight, DeGrom. Their record when he pitches isn't all that good, but there's no questioning he's their best guy. I can see why the numbers drop because of the fact that you've got, one of the best teams in baseball, a team that's playing 600 ball for the season, getting a huge price. So from a team standpoint, you can definitely create a case where there's value in the Braves. But I'm looking at Foltynewicz, and I really do focus more on starting pitchers than anything else. Foltynewicz was very good in his first start back from the minors, looked great against the Twins. In fact, his line in that game was misleading because Snitker left him in a little too long, and it came after an happening that it lasted like 35 minutes when the Braves went wild. So he lost his edge and got hit late in that game. But his last two starts, he started to regress and become the Foltynewicz we saw earlier in the season, who was so bad that he basically created an injury so they could send him to the minor leagues. It was a demotion. Had been just a rehab. He'd been down there for a couple of starts and come right back up. He was down there for a long time. So I think it was one of those brief spikes that we get with a pitcher when they either come off an injury or get recalled. And now he's regressing to his previous form, which was not good. DeGrom's form is outstanding. The Mets are outstanding right now. I wouldn't get in their way tonight.
Yeah, Dave, I'm with you. I mean, I find this game a tough game to play. I'm going to pass outright. I don't want to get in front of the Mets, but I also don't want to get in front of Atlanta. They've won 8 of 10, Marco, and, they're just on fire. And I understand Foltynewicz is not pitching well, but, this team can hit the ball. I think this series is going to be really, really close. If I had to take it from a value perspective, I would probably take the dog, but the good thing is I can pass. What are you doing?
Well, there's no way that I'm going to back Foltynewicz, as Dave said. And the problem that's coming up with him now, again, in his last 2 starts, he's only pitched 10 2/3 innings in the last 2 starts. He's got 5 walks in those 2 starts. And when he's missing the plate, he's not good. I'm sorry. And it is, Dave hit it right on the head where he had that spike coming up. But I'm looking at DeGrom. He's numbers right now. There's no way I could step in front of him. But as Dave pointed out, it's crazy. When he pitches and he's the favorite, the Mets are only 3-8 this year in his starts. So what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to go pitcher against pitcher. And I think for the first 5 innings, DeGrom's going to out-pitch Foltynewicz. And then when we get to the bullpens, we don't know what could happen. Atlanta, they send out lineup up there. It's tough to keep them handcuffed an entire game. But I think DeGrom can hold them down, get them through 5 innings, and I think that's where the wager's at. And guys, let's face it, baseball betting in 2019, you got to be looking a lot more at first 5 inning wagers. I think that's where your advantages are, especially the way the bullpens have been so bad this year. I'll take the Mets first 5 in this one.
Yeah, and you're totally right about the 5 innings. And Dave has just been harping on this for months now, like an old curmudgeon that he is. Should we just let that simmer and breathe?
I am an old curmudgeon.
Guys, really quickly, just want to make a couple of mentions. Our college football betting show, myself, Dave Cokin, and Teddy Covers, begins on Tuesday. The NFL presidential address, don't tell Marco this, but it's the most watched and listened to sports handicapping show on the planet by a mile. Hosted by Kelly. Marco and VR are so sneaky. They get my host to host their show. They're like, how can we top the Prez? This is serious business. If Marco, VR, and Kelly have 1 view more than my show ever, I will be pretty pissed. So the NFL presidential address starts on Thursday or Friday next week. Kelly and I are still working that out because Marco has stolen her. Anyway, you want to add to that? Oh, Dave, what do you want to talk about?
How come Teddy and myself got stuck with you instead of Kelly?
Well, because Marco didn't headhunt me. Because Marco wanted Kelly.
How about Minty? Why can't we have her?
Dave, why don't you do your own damn show and go find your own bloody host? Like, I'm the one that puts these shows together only to find out that Marco steals my thunder. Jesus, next thing I know, they're going to actually analyze every NFL game on the board like me. What else are you copying, Marco?
Trust me, your show's not being copied. We're running a format of
so
our own show that we've done for 7 years, buddy.
Arizona, Milwaukee. Marco, what do you got behind you, bro? Where's the Pittsburgh stuff? Is that your green screen that you've like made gray?
No, just we switched the room around a little bit because we are going to get a backdrop and we're going to put it on this wall. Because, I don't want to keep showing. Ralph gets mad every time he sees something with me with the Steelers, and I bring up that they have 6 Super Bowl trophies and Cleveland doesn't have any yet, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the next game, and then I got something else I want to talk to you about. I got a Teddy and Ralph story that is a doozy and a half. Milwaukee tonight, hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona's won 3 of their last 4. Milwaukee has lost 3 of their last 4 games. Milwaukee's favored. It's around minus 150. The over and under is 10. Bottom line for me is I actually like Milwaukee in this spot. Dave, Cokin, talk to me, brother.
This is a big series. It's not what you can call an elimination series, not yet. But it's getting close to that level for both the Diamondbacks and the Brewers. Diamondbacks are at 500, so they're not out of this thing. Every time they look like they're going to fall out of it, they win a few games. And the Brewers kind of slogging along at 65 and 62. They just haven't been able to really put things together. The matchup tonight, now Merrill Kelly did pitch well in his last start for the Diamondbacks, but he has not been good for the most part. In the second half of the season, I think the innings have piled up. Hitters have a book on him now, which they did not previously have. Jordan Lyles seems to have found some new life since he left Pittsburgh. And why not? He went from a team that was going nowhere to a team that's in contention. So that's going to be exciting for him. He struggled in his last start against the Dodgers, but Lyles has been a good pickup so far for Milwaukee. And I think he's got an edge over Kelly on the mound tonight. The Diamondbacks are a pretty good road team. The Brewers, however, they're a good home team. They're 10 games over 500 at home. I think you can justify the Brewers being a decent-sized favorite here. There's a little money showing in Arizona, maybe from team value standpoint. But I think the pitching matchup favors the Brewers.
I like the over in this game, but I'm not betting it. That's just my lean. I think we will get a lot of runs. Marco, D'Angelo, I don't care what your opinion is in this game, but the listeners might. So why don't you enlighten us?
Oh, thanks, Prez. You wonder why I don't want to do a show with you. I can't figure it out. You look at the situation here with Jordan Lyles, and anybody getting away from that train wreck that is my hometown Pittsburgh Pirates is going to have that little burst of energy, and he's had it for a couple starts. However, Dave, I'm seeing the Jordan Lyles that concerns me. In his last 2 starts, his strikeout to walk ratio is 13 strikeouts to 7 walks. You cannot be doing that. And that was one of the problems he's had at Pittsburgh. Yeah. Arizona, as you said, they're one of the better road teams in baseball, which is surprising to me that they play well. And Prez, rather than taking a shot at you when you said you liked the over, I'm going to give you a stat that backs that. The Milwaukee Brewers are coming off a day off yesterday. And over the last 2 seasons, following a day off, they're 15-5 to the over. I see where the money's coming, a little bit on the Arizona side. I just don't trust Jordan Lyles enough to lay this kind of number with him. And my other concern, and Dave, I'll ask you, Milwaukee, for the last several years, the bread and butter of this team has been the back end of the pitching, the bullpen. It has not been anything but that this year. This team is giving up a lot of runs. Josh Hader is not having the type of season that we're accustomed to with him. And when you look at games where the Brewers are giving up 14, 16, 9 runs, which have been 3 of the last 5 games, that concerns me. I lean to the over, but if I have to play the game, I'm taking the dog here. I don't trust Jordan Lyles.
When a man of your size leans, wouldn't that constitute a fall over?
Weebles wobble, but we don't fall down.
I got to tell you guys a Ralph Teddy story. Oh my god. So I get a call last night. I'm going with inebriation. Okay, we're just going to leave it at that. I was not fully there. And I get a call at around 10:30. I was busy. I didn't answer. Teddy texts, urgent, call. So just to give you guys some background, Teddy and Ralph start a show on Monday, and this is going to be a big show, one of our flagship shows. They're going to be doing it every day. It'll be on at 3 p.m. Eastern live, and it'll be on a ton of channels, including piped in to 16 million homes across America. That's how much growth Wager Talk is having right now. But the studio wanted to do a test. They wanted to do a test today so that they were ready for Monday. So we shipped Teddy the green screen and the stand, and Teddy needed to assemble it. Okay, guys. Teddy calls in panic. He cannot assemble the stand for the green screen. I would like to explain. It's got 2 legs that open like this. You can actually see where they open. You literally take them out of the box and you go like this. And they're open and stand. Then there are 3 poles. 2 of them are the same size. You take them and you just stick them in the stand. And the 3rd pole just hangs on the top. Teddy couldn't figure out how to install it. I say to him, did you read the instructions? He's like, I've read the instructions 3 times, and I still don't know how to install this. It's too confusing. This is less confusing than pouring water. So he's like, I can't do it. So we call Ralph. Ralph, can you head over to Teddy's? Ralph was like, I can't drive. Okay, do it in the morning. So Ralph goes over to Teddy's this morning, and the 2 of them call me on FaceTime. Ralph is sitting there, sweat dripping. Teddy's taking his shirt off because he's so sweaty and gross. And the 2 of them are like, we can't do it. I'm telling you, word of no lie, you literally take 2 poles, stick them in the hole of the stands, and hang the 3rd pole. These twits cannot figure it out, and we have to hire someone today to head over to their house to set up a frickin' stand. Marco, we're billing you.
Well, I can add to the story because 10 minutes before we went on the air, Ralph calls me in a panic. Can you come over and help me set up his stuff? And I said, I'm about to do Prez's show. I'll be over as soon as I get done. So I'm heading over to Ralph's when I'm done here. So
this is part of the reason I haven't gotten a backdrop. And I'm not, this actually isn't a joke part. I can put stuff together. I don't have any problem with that. But unfortunately, the eye situation, if they're little things, like little grooves and stuff like that, I can't see them. So that's part of it. I have a backdrop that's sitting somewhere in the house. And I'll have to have somebody. I wish it's ridiculous, but I can't see the little things. Father Time has taken its toll as far as that goes, and so I'm going to need some help with that too. So I'm not going to make fun of them, although I kind of want to.
Yeah, Marco, stream it, would you? Like, do a video of them setting it up. I'd like to put it on the college football betting show. Guys, 2 more games before we get to extra innings. Toronto Blue Jays against Seattle. Both teams absolutely stink. It's basically a pick 'em. The over and under is 9.5. Dave Cokin, take it away.
Well, but this is an interesting game this is kind of it's kind of the games I like toward the end of the season, not from a betting standpoint as much as I want to watch and see what happens. Because Justin Sheffield, look, Seattle has very high hopes for Sheffield. And he really struggled early in the season with his command. And, they sent him down to AAA, and he struggled there. And then they sent him down to AA, and he finally seemed to get things a little bit back together and maybe get a little bit of that swagger. So I think this is a start I want to watch to see how Sheffield performs at the big league level against a young Blue Jays offense that on certain nights can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Thornton has kind of hit the wall for Toronto. I think he's kind of out of energy. Also, Seattle has brought up one of their better prospects, a position player who I think is going to play every day the rest of the way in the outfield. And they're going to a 6-man rotation for the rest of the season. So I kind of like what both these teams are doing in terms of not just mailing it in for the rest of the season, but trying to establish some things that can help them in 2020. And from that standpoint, I find the game interesting. I would give an edge to Seattle tonight because Thornton, at this point, looks like he's just meat. But it's not a game that'll make my card.
Marco, I'm passing on this game outright. Never wear that color shirt on TV or video again. What do you like?
Are you going to say anything nice to me at any point of this show today?
Well, that's the thing, Marco. The day I stop saying mean things to you is the day you need to be concerned. I am what they call in England taking the piss. It is a gesture of male alpha love.
Thanks,
All right,
wait a minute. I want to step in here for a second. Marco's shirt at least has a little color to it. Mine has a nice logo, as you can see.
Hey,
which one is it?
I have a logo.
It's a Mercedes logo, so my logo is way better than yours, okay? You've got this boring gray shirt on. It's like a New England day.
Our listeners are like literally going, what is up with this show? Okay.
Well, I don't think you should be criticizing anybody else's wardrobe, is all I'm saying.
Listen, puke shirt, what do you like in this game?
This game here, generally speaking, my rule of thumb with you bring up a pitcher like this, especially bringing up a left-hander, advantage goes to the pitcher first time through the league. With that said, I would lean to Seattle probably first 5 innings. He's not going to go long in this one. Even if he's pitching well, you're going to probably just get those 5 innings out of him, and then you're going to turn it over to the Seattle bullpen. And then you want to talk about something that pukes. That's generally what happens with the Seattle bullpen.
Whoa, boom, boom, boom.
You look at this team total-wise, this is a team that's been an over team all season long. So if it wasn't the rookie pitching today and them not seeing him, I would clearly be on the over in this one. I will watch this one like Dave, slight lean to Seattle first 5 innings, and I will look for finding a spot maybe to take the over in one of the next upcoming games with a pitching matchup. But if I did have to play the total, I would look at this one over the total. And Seattle, they don't win that often, but this season, if they've won 2 out of 3 of the last 3 games, they've gone over 21 out of 27 games in their next one. So when they're winning, they're hitting, and that bullpen's always the same as it is.
Listeners, we heard you talking on YouTube. Dave, they want the show to continue. They don't want first pitch to stop September 1st. Everybody bear with me. Dave's going to be busy. I'm going to speak to some other guys next week and try to keep this show going all the way through. Also, make sure to head over to wagertalk.com. Dave, we've had guys come on here and be like, Dave is a legend. Dave is the best. Without this show, we wouldn't be making money. We're making so much money because of Dave. Well, why don't you guys thank Dave? Head over to wagertalk.com. Buy the rest of his baseball season for only $99. Use the promo code DAVE99. And if you don't even want it, consider it a thank you love note from you to Dave.
Just to point out, it's not that I just run out of hours in September.
Yeah,
my college football.
Oh my God, Dave, stop, Marco.
It's about 3 hours a day trying to catch up on stories from local beat writers and stuff like that because it's kind of important.
Marco. So Teddy, Dave, and I are organizing the time for our college football betting show. You know, the one you and VR are going to rip off next year. And I said to Teddy, what about 2:00 on Tuesdays? Nope, Dave can't do it. Dave has a steadfast appointment at 11 PST on Tuesdays. Do you know what that appointment is, Marco?
Yeah, it's this.
He has to get his beard groomed.
I get my beard trimmed, and same girl's been doing it for like 30 years. She's seen it through the color change, and she trims the hair. I have a cup of coffee. It takes me 10 minutes. Cost me $40, which is worth it because I like bullshitting with her for the 10 minutes. She's a good friend, and I'm not breaking that appointment.
Okay, dude. I mean, I wouldn't break it. I'd mess with my dinner instead.
It's also in Summerlin, at downtown Summerlin. So I head over to one of my favorite barbecue places right after the beard gets trimmed and get absolutely awesome barbecue over at the Red Rock. No fucking way am I getting rid of that.
Listen,
I love that.
To you listeners who want a show that doesn't have small talk, that's super boring, extremely dry, but full of amazing analysis, a quick reminder that Marco and VR will be doing an NFL show every week. The game of the day, the series of the weekend. The Yankees hosting on the road, playing the Dodgers. The Yankees have lost 4 in a row, including a sweep to Oakland. The Dodgers have won 3 in a row. This easily could be the World Series preview. Dodgers came out at minus 180, Dave. It's been bet to 137. That's the lowest number I can find.
No, I didn't see 180.
Okay, well, that's what you don't have Pinnacle. You don't have a bookmaker's opening line.
Now I go with Penny.
Okay, let's not argue the opening line. It's been bet down. What do you like?
Yeah, it's been bet down some. And the bitch of this is, unless something gets relaxed tonight, I won't be able to watch it because the Dodgers are blacked out. What a joke. I mean, this is such a big game and a big series, and I really want to watch this as a fan, not as a bettor. I'm not going to bet the game, but this is huge. Paxton, that first, if you want to bet here, Paxton in the first inning has been literally the worst pitcher in baseball. He cannot get through the first inning without giving up some kind of damage. And if you've been betting that prop that's available, you're cleaning up. And wouldn't surprise me if the Dodgers jump out on top tonight with a strong pitcher like Ryu on the mound and Paxton giving these first inning problems he's had. Paxton has not been particularly good on the road. The Dodgers just keep finding ways to win games. I mean, look at last night. They get nothing through 8 innings. I think they had 1 or 2 hits. And then in the 9th inning comes along and boom, bang, boom, 3 runs, another win. I'm not going against the Dodgers. I don't care where the line movement is. But to me, if you're going to bet this game, look for that first inning prop against Paxton and take a shot.
Yeah, I actually like the over in this game. It's a slight lean for me. And Marco, I am capable of leaning. What do you like, brother? Come on, dude. Who loves you more than me?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you. If you're the best I got, I'm in a sad state of affairs, let me tell you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to your show with VR, dude. Can't wait. So excited, man.
I can't wait till you cry whenever you see the numbers. That's what I can't wait for.
Dude, yeah, but we have to double check the numbers. People could be listening to them around midnight, like trying to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, Prez. You look at Paxton, and I just can't trust Paxton in this big game. The other part is, even if Paxton's on, he's going to be going 5 or 6 innings. Now, the Yankees have a good bullpen, but this bullpen's been getting worked lately because they've been giving up some runs. And this is a team that has not had a day off, guys. The Yankees they've played straight through almost the entire month of August. Their last day off was August 1st. on a long road trip, going to L.A., and when you get a team like the Dodgers that have a comfortable lead and everything's rolling along, and you have a team that comes in like Toronto, it's easy just to look past them and like, okay, this is a series that we can, just go through the motions and we're going to be okay. And they got the Yankees on deck. I think you'll see the real Dodgers today because this is a possible preview, as you said, of the World Series. And Ryu, last outing, not as good. He went 5 2/3. That was at Atlanta. Atlanta hits the lights out of the baseball. They gave up 4 runs. But when you give up 4 runs into the 6th inning and you call that a bad outing, there's a lot of teams that would love to have pitchers like that. You go before that, he has been absolutely dominant. And going back to Paxton, last 2 starts, again, talk about that strikeout to walk ratio. You can't keep putting people on base. 11-5 strikeout to walk ratio over his last 2 starts in just 11 innings pitched. That concerns me. It's the Dodgers or pass this game. I like the Dodgers here. I think that they had their wake-up call with Toronto. You'll see the team that's dominated all year. And right now, every team goes through it. Dave will tell you, it doesn't matter if you're a good team or a bad team. You're going to have that one stretch during the season where things just don't go right, the way the schedule is, and even a bad team will go on a run. We saw that Toronto team right after the All-Star break have a mini run. This is a spot where I just can't back the Yankees right now on this road trip till I see them start put up W's again.
You guys have seen me looking at my phone a bit throughout the show. It's Teddy. Call me now. Anyway, quick commercial break, and then we're right back with extra innings. Long show today, but fun as hell. Give us a minute, guys. Okay, I'm back. It's me. We're talking promotions over at wagertalk.com. And guys, look, I know the hockey season starts in about 6 weeks, but what we like to do ahead of these seasons is give out massive promotions because there's so much time before the season begins. I want to talk to you about Carmine Bianco and Buster Sports' hockey. And really, here's the bottom line, guys. Carmine netted 114 units on his bankroll last year in hockey. That means if you bet every one of his plays, you would have doubled your bankroll and some. He is absolutely rolling in this sport. Every year, it doesn't get much better than him, except for Buster Sports. Buster did 116 units, and that's another double of your bankroll. Buster and Carmine are absolute must-play in hockey this year. Their regular season package is going to be around $800. Till Monday night only, you can have each, either Buster or Carmine's NHL season and playoffs for $3.99. Use the promo code NHL399. That's NHL399 over at wagertalk.com. I cannot stress enough how important it is to play one or both of their hockey plays. We're back. Guys, let's get through this fast. Marco has a show to prepare for. It starts in 2 weeks, and that seems about enough time for preparation, right, Marco?
Yeah, we want to make it a killer show to squash somebody else's.
Philadelphia, Miami, Dave. Philly minus 173 over and under is 9. What are you doing?
That line's too high for me to bet Velasquez on the road. I'm not betting Hector Noesi either, but slight value on the Marlins, but certainly not a bet.
Marco, 15 seconds. What do you got?
Yeah, there's no way that I'm backing the Marlins here. This is one of those ones where I'm not laying the big price, but I would take the run line if I played it on the road. At least I will get all 9 at-bats with the Phillies.
Cardinals, Dave, minus 235 to 250 at some spots against Colorado with an over and under of 8. I lean on the over. Where are you going?
Well, boy, not against Flaherty. Boy, is that guy hot right now.
Yeah.
He is giving up nothing. So, good luck leaning to the over, too, because I don't know where's Colorado going to get their runs from. I can't argue at all with the market on this game.
Marco?
I'm looking at the under in this one. St. Louis, they've been a favorite of 200 or more just 10 times the last 2 seasons. 9-1 to the under. In Colorado, off of a 1-run loss, last 3 seasons, 29-13 to the under. Flaherty's been an absolute beast lately. It's the under or you play nothing here.
Tampa Bay against Baltimore. Tampa Bay minus 200, 10.5 on the board. What are you doing, Dave? Tampa Bay needs to start winning, man.
They are winning. They just, that's the thing. They're not playing good baseball, but they keep finding ways to win. So they're 75-54. They moved ahead of the Indians for the second wild card. I'm not going against them. That would be Orioles. Ty Black. Luke. That's no. Not interested in him.
Yeah, line too big here, and even as I said earlier in the Philadelphia game, about looking at the run line because you're going to get all of your at-bats. The problem with Tampa is, they are winning, but they're doing just enough to win. Over the weekend, a couple walk-off game winners. That's not what you want to be having if you're laying 1.5 runs. This is a pass for me.
Kansas City against Cleveland. Cleveland came out at minus 210, down to minus 182. Over and under is 9. I think Cleveland's going to start a little bit of a run right now, Dave. What do you think?
And they better. Look, the Indians are probably delighted to be home after that tough series against the Mets, but their bats have gone cold. And Junis, when he's only got 2 pitches basically, but when he's throwing them right, he can be tough. Nevertheless, this is complete non-contender against contender, and I don't like anything but contenders in these spots.
Yeah. Marco?
Again, you're paying the price for Cleveland because of the must-win factor with them. I can't lay this kind of number with Plesac. He's not a dominant pitcher, and he's not going to give you a lot of innings. And right now, that Cleveland bullpen is just not good. They have zero confidence in a game situation.
Yeah.
If it comes to the 9th inning, do you feel confident bringing Brad Hand in to relieve right now? And the manager, has said is we're trying to work through it. We need this guy to win. And he's got to find it in a hurry. But when I read comments like that, when your manager says, we need him and we just got to work through it, that's not a vote of confidence at all.
And he's blown 5 of his last 12 saves. And it really was the ultimate blown save against the Mets on Wednesday because he failed to cover. You wonder where the guy's head is. He didn't cover first base on the back end of what would have been a game-ending 3-6-1 double play. And thank goodness he didn't because I had the Mets, and basically that won the game for me.
Guys, this game really is interesting to me. Detroit against Minnesota. Came out at minus 210 for Minnesota. It's been bet up to 313. And what really makes this game fascinating in the general...
Just a quickie there. That was an opener with Boyd.
Okay, whatever. It's now minus 310.
It's important.
It's very big. It wasn't a money move.
Yes, but it's not important to my statement.
You can't. You made a comment. This opened here and went to here, and it didn't open here because that was
okay. Fine. Minnesota is a giant favorite against Detroit. Why I find this game interesting is it reminds me of the NFL presidential address against the Marco Gianni Kelly show, where you have somewhere around a minus 300, I think maybe even close to 450, that I will take my show to heights that your show will never achieve.
Yeah.
So in keeping with that, the dog might be live, the dog might be barking, but there's no chance in hell the dog is going to win. Dave?
I don't know what you just said. Here's the. I think the Tigers were actually really fired up because they know what the story is, and I think they were pretty fired up to pull the upsets in Houston because of the fact, it's public information. These are the biggest numbers of all time, and as weird as it sounds, they could have a letdown going into Minnesota where they're only a $3 underdog instead of a $5 underdog. I'm not saying bet the Twins at 3 and change, but it's one of the weirder psychological situations that I've ever looked at.
Marco, if your show ever beats mine, tell me what you want me to do. Email it, text it. I will dance naked in the streets.
Oh, no.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Okay, what do you like in this game?
Well, Dave hit it right on the head. This is actually a letdown spot for the Tigers. And anybody that says ball players don't know what the spread is on a game, that's bullshit. They know. And especially in today's world of social media, that's all anybody was talking about was the biggest dog of all time. And they went out and won that game 2 days ago. Now they're going into...
Listen, they came within a foot of tying it at 6-6 last night because that ball was at the wall and got caught. So they almost sent it into extra innings last night.
Yeah, Marco, you'll never be that close.
Yeah. You're going to cry, after the first month of the season. You know that.
Dude, you are my Jay Leno to Dave Letterman.
Yeah,
baby.
Okay. The situation here is this is all Minnesota, but you're not going to lay the 300. This is one where I will take the run line on Minnesota. We did a podcast last night with Ralph and Adam. We did the best bets at the end of the show. Dave was there at the beginning of the podcast. I gave Minnesota minus the 1.5 runs as the best bet on the show. Now, when I did that last night, we had Boyd as the pitcher, and then they switched overnight. But you're going from bad to worse as far as the starting pitching goes in this game. And I'll give you, scheduling-wise, Detroit played last night. Minnesota had the day off and was at home before that. So this is a well-rested team. And Minnesota, in that last game, was shut out against the White Sox. And they have not been shut out that often over the last 2 seasons. They're 9-1 in the next game, and they win by an average of over 3 runs per game. I'll go ahead and lay the runs with Minnesota against a flat Detroit Tiger team off of that big Houston series.
So many things I can use to bother you with out of that statement, but instead, we're doing a half-hour baseball show these days. We're on 47 minutes.
You should quit talking.
I did want to point out one thing. There's an analogy here. As far as the college football show with Teddy and myself, we basically had a shot at having an ace as the host, and instead we got Drew Verhagen.
Okay, Dave.
It's just like the Tigers. It's like the Tigers pitching change tonight, going from Matt Boyd, their ace.
Dave, what I appreciate about you is that you know how to at least make fun of me. Marco is still stumbling. Texas against the White Sox. Just 10 seconds each, guys.
Okay. All right. So Dylan Cease is still learning to pitch at this level, and Lance Lynn knows how to pitch at this level. Lean Rangers.
I lean Rangers as well, but I got burnt with the Rangers last night, so I'm a little pissed off at him. I won't be involved in the game.
Houston minus 265 against the Angels.
I'm not laying that price with Houston. Greinke hasn't been great since he went to this ballpark. But I don't want Suarez, who could get massacred. His command's just not very good. And maybe the Astros cut loose here. I think the Astros, interestingly enough, played like they had some pressure on them the last 2 nights, which ties into what we were talking about with the gigantic lines. And they didn't really play well. Now that the Tigers have left town, maybe they can settle down. No Correa, though. He's back on the IL for the Astros.
Marco?
There's no way I want any part of the Angels with Suarez on the mound. He has been a train wreck. 10.22 ERA over the last 3 and a whip of 2.02. You put 2 base runners on per inning against this Houston lineup in this ballpark, it's going to be a long night.
Okay, last game, boys. Boston, San Diego. Dave.
You know, Eduardo Rodriguez has an outside shot at winning 20 games. He's got 14 wins. He usually gets very good support from his Red Sox teammates. And Chris Paddock isn't pitching at the same level he was earlier in the year, and the Padres are really not playing very good ball. And Fernando Tatis being out for the year is a big hit. But this is a rotten scheduling spot for the Red Sox, who had to go out and play for 12 minutes yesterday to get the win over the Royals in that suspended game that got finished yesterday. And now they have to travel all the way to San Diego. Not exactly an ideal set of circumstances. So, nothing.
Marco?
2 stats. The only thing you need to know with Boston, when Rodriguez is on the mound, they're 19-7 this year with him starting. And as Dave said, he gets unbelievable run support. Well, the over is 18-8 in his starts. That's the only way you got to look at when you're playing Boston and Rodriguez. Him in the over, you're probably split at worst.
Great call, brother. Okay, guys, that's first pitch in the bag. Let's summarize really quick. Big promotion for Dave Cokin. $99 for Dave's entire baseball season till the end and the playoffs. $99 at wagertalk.com. Use the promo code DAVE99. Also, Buster and Carmine, their NHL, both of them hit 115 units on the year, last year, betting hockey. I'm putting up a promo. It'll never, ever be cheaper than this. It's up till Monday night. Use the promo code NHL399 over at wagertalk.com. Dave Cokin, myself, and Teddy, our college football betting show starts on Tuesday. Kelly and myself, the NFL presidential address, the most listened to and watched fantasy show on YouTube not fantasy, don't even know what I'm talking about. Handicapping show on YouTube on the planet. Starts next Thursday or Friday. I'll keep you posted. And don't sleep during Marco and VR's NFL show with Kelly hosting. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep during it. It'll be interesting. It'll have moments. I have no doubt that there will be a running theme between both my show and his show where we will make fun of each other. Mine will be funny and I'll make fun well. Marco will just attempt humor and Gianni will shake his head. I'm the Prez. Rob Vino and Dave Cokin next week on Monday. Mic drop. I'm out.